Hello, 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 honey. Happy New Year's. What is wrong with you, literally? Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nikovi. I just wanted to come on here and say Happy New Year to all. I hope you guys are accomplishing your goals and writing them down and setting a plan for 2021 because I know I definitely have, and that's actually starting with this. Every Monday I will be putting out new videos. I actually got some bomb Christmas lights for the holidays. Shout out to my cousin Adri, love you. So she bought me some nice, so the lighting should be a little better. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I have so many meals that I wanna share with you guys, but sometimes I'm lazy and I just rush it. I don't wanna cook. So no more 2021, we're leaving that in 2020, and that's the old Nikovi. So with that being said, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you want to just learn how to cook some yummy meals, everything food, everything Nikovi, really, then follow me and like me and do all that good stuff. Okay? We're gonna be making one of my favorite dishes. I'm not really a red meat person. I enjoy red meat, but I can't eat a bunch of it, but it's actually a family favorite of mine. We're gonna be making steak bites. We're pretty much just making cubed up steak. We're gonna season it, we're gonna toss it in some butter and some garlic, and we're done. And we're gonna make a vegetable. You can do broccoli. I'm gonna do string beans today with some potatoes, maybe some broccoli. I really haven't figured it out. I literally am going with the flow because that's pretty much how I cook. So I'm just gonna make a disclaimer. I want you guys to thank me from now from saving your lives in 2021 because this meal is so easy that you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up, and you can literally do everything, prep, cook it, and have it on the table in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Yes, I said that. With that being said, let's get right into it. Steak. Top sirloin, that's what I'm using. I prefer to use this because it doesn't get chewy. I'm sure you could use another steak, just be careful because you don't want your steak to be, you know, some steak you chew it, it gets like chewy. I don't know, you don't want that. I don't want that. So I recommend top sirloin or higher grade in steak. I'm doing about 2 pounds, and I'll put all the measurements below because like I said, when I'm cooking, I'm just feeling it. I don't got time to be doing measurements, okay? Potato, we're gonna use a potato. That's simple, that's easy. My vegetables gonna be green beans. You can use broccoli, you can use asparagus, whatever you want, but that's literally the basis of what you need. Most people have, or I guess most people can get this stuff really quick and really easy. Run in the store for 5 minutes and get all the stuff. Seasoning is gonna be super easy, and just season it to your taste. I never follow anything to the exact anyways, so just freestyle it. I'm using an all-purpose seasoning, a little seasoned salt. I don't like to use, this is not seasoned salt, this is seasoned all. I don't know if that makes a difference. But I don't like to use Lawry's because I feel like that one is really, really salty. We're gonna use garlic powder and onion powder. I put that on everything. Just pepper, minced garlic. Fresh garlic is preferred, but if you're in a crunch or you don't want your hands smelling like garlic or whatever the situation is, just buy some minced garlic. Easy. And then we have some salted butter. I prefer salted butter. You can use unsalted butter. Whatever makes your heart happy, do you. This is all you need. Alrighty, first things first, you're gonna make sure you wash your hands always. You're gonna take this potato and you're just gonna peel it, okay? So I like to peel mine into like a little bag, but just for showing you, I guess I'm just gonna do it. Once your potato is washed, I'm just gonna cut it up into big pieces. So you're literally just gonna cut it, I guess quarter it, is that what they call it? Ta-da! So we have our potatoes, and we're just gonna take this and put it to the side. And seafood. So this is probably the only meat you'll see me not wash. And we're just gonna pat this dry. And when you pat it dry, it just helps it get a good sear when you're searing your steak. I'm just gonna turn it on both sides and get another paper towel. And you're literally just gonna pat it dry. So I have my bowl right here. I'm just gonna put it to the side, and we're literally just gonna go through and cut this all up. And we're gonna cube it. You can cube it to whatever size you want. I wouldn't go too small because you do kind of fry this up in batches. I need a sharper knife. I need to sharpen it. But I would say about this size is good. Okay, so now we have our chopped up beef right here. I'm gonna go ahead and season it. So what I'm gonna do is start with the Nature's seasoning. I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle that. And like I said, I will put measurements below. I just know how much it needs. Then I'm gonna do the season all. Well, let me show it, this. And we're gonna put a good amount of that on it. Cause with steak, it's not like, I feel like you need more seasoning to season a steak. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes sense to me. Garlic powder, even though we're doing minced garlic, still need some garlic powder. We're gonna do some onion powder. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna do a little black pepper. And sometimes I will just look in my seasons cabinet and add extra stuff. I'm like, okay, let me try this time. That's how you kind of come up with fun recipes. Let me get a little spoon. You can do this by hand and mix it up. So you're just gonna literally mix up all those seasonings together. Like every piece has seasoning on it. You can do this with your hand. Your hand is preferred. And I literally just clip the ends with the scissors and then throw it in here. And they're still dirty. And I put in a strainer because when I'm ready to wash it, the water just goes right through it. And you can wash it before you cook. And this is what I like to do. So we're gonna have two pans. I have a cast iron pan for the steak, and then I have like a non-stick basic pan for the veggies. And I'm actually gonna do the veggies and potatoes in one pan. I'm gonna show you how I like to do it. But of course you can make them any way you want, or just make the meat and veggies, whatever. But this is kind of how I like to make it. So cast iron, non-stick for the veggies. I'm gonna put them both on medium. Actually, I'm lying. I'm gonna put my cast iron maybe on like 6.5, 7. So like medium high heat. Oops, that's the wrong one. Malfunction. And I'm gonna put the veggies on medium. That's fine. I'm gonna do this. And we're just gonna oil our pans. I'm just using vegetable oil. I put a generous amount in the pan just to do a nice light coating. You don't wanna put too much oil because you know when you're frying meat and it like sweats too much, it like makes it like gravyish. I don't want that. We want just a light coating. Same thing for the vegetable. As you can see, this is hot. So we're just gonna start, I'm using a little spatula. We're just gonna start getting that steak in there and do it in batches. You don't wanna overcrowd the pan. You may have to do 2 to 3 batches just depending on how much steak you have. Oops. So this should be enough for you just wanna brown it pretty much on both sides. Don't worry about it cooking all the way through. It is steak after all. Just go ahead and brown it on like a higher heat. You see how it's smoking? Go ahead and do that on each side. You probably only need a minute to 2, maybe like 2 minutes each side. Then I'm gonna, as you can see here, I put some seasoning in the oil. That's how I like to do it. And I'm actually gonna throw the potatoes in first. Oops. So throw the potatoes in first because they're gonna take much longer than my green beans. And I'm just gonna kind of stir it in. And you might want, actually I might turn this up to like 7 too. And we're just gonna let the potato brown and then cook it down a little bit and add in our green beans. Now let's check on our steak bites. I put a splatter screen over it. And yep, these are ready to turn. You see, we just wanted to get a nice brown on the side. You just want it to get a nice share. That's why you don't want to put too much oil. That color, oops, is what we're looking for. Sorry guys, I'm holding the camera with my hands. And trying to cook. This goes really fast. So let this sit for another minute and we're going to take this back. This is how the potatoes will look. They're gonna get a nice color to them, a little seasoning on it, and then we're just gonna cover this up and let it continue to cook. Otherwise, these potatoes will take forever. Back to the steak bites. Oh my gosh, they're looking so good, guys. I wish you could smell this. I put like a little just white container here. Usually when I'm cooking chicken or a pork or something like that, I would drain the juice. But you're gonna want all the natural juices in this that's gonna seep out from the steak. So no need to put a paper towel down or anything like that. Just take this. And like I said, don't worry about everything being fully cooked. We're gonna toss it back in the pan one final time at the very end. So, and you see that the pan is pretty browned up. It's okay. Don't be worried. And we're going to put our second batch in. So this is how your potatoes should be looking. Like I said, make sure they're covered. And they can stay covered for like 10 minutes, honestly. And just keep checking on them. They'll actually naturally get brown because it's still cooking. It's just covered. So it's steaming while it's cooking. So that's how you speed up the process. And the steak is still going. You see they're starting to turn color. It has a little bit of pink. The thing's kind of starting to turn gray. But the goal is to get those nice burnt pieces. That gives it so much flavor. So this is my little, I'm just transferring from here to here, okay? So this is how your potatoes will be looking. What I'm gonna do is take our green beans and just add them in because this is getting really brown now. So, sorry, don't mind my tears. We're just gonna take the broccoli, the green beans, and add it on in here with the potatoes. I know it's kind of like weird, but this is just a really quick way to do a starch and a veggie all together. So you're just gonna cover this and season it up. I'm probably just gonna season with some salt and pepper because the steak has so much flavor already. And I seasoned the potatoes already. So, all right, let me check on my steak. We're gonna go ahead and take this out. Okay, so this happens really, really fast. So you're gonna have to drop the butter in as soon as the steak comes off and add some garlic in. Don't be afraid of the butter. Use a lot of butter, and we're gonna add in some garlic too. A lot of garlic. And you're literally just gonna make almost like a gravy. You're gonna get all these little bits up from the steak, all that burnt pieces, and it's gonna make like a brown sauce. Ooh. There we go. It's gonna make like a brown sauce. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more. Am I gonna add more butter? No, maybe at the end. So this is how it should look. You're stirring in the butter and the garlic. I actually turned the fire off just so I'm not too much isn't going on. So you see all those juices, I'm just pouring it right back in there. And I'm gonna take my spatula, not my spatula, my tongs, and I'm just putting it in that gravy. That's literally all you're doing. You're doing it really quick. A little bit more butter. Don't be afraid of the butter. And like I'm literally just letting the butter is the basis. It's like a butter steak almost. Like that's the best way to think of it. And you're just letting it melt in there. So the fire is no longer on. This is with no heat that it's in. You see how juicy the steak bites look? I don't know if you can see. It has like a nice glaze to it. Top it with some parsley and the steak bites are done. Green beans are starting to get a little soft. And it's okay now because the potatoes are cooked. So I'm probably gonna let I don't like my green beans super hard, so I'm gonna let it cook a little bit longer. Like I said, I put nothing but salt and pepper on the green beans. So just let it continue to steam. So this is the finished product. We have our steak bites and we have some potatoes and green beans all in one.